Elina Svitolina snubs Anna Kalinskaya after facing defeat at Qatar Open. Several surprises lit up the round of 16 at the 2026 WTA Qatar Open in Doha, but none stirred more conversation than Elina Svitolina's straight sets loss to Anna Kalinskaya and the icy post-match moment that followed. Fresh off a strong Australian Open run that saw her reach the semifinals, Svitolina entered Doha with momentum and confidence. Yet it was Kalinskaya who dictated terms from the baseline, sealing a composed 6-4, 6-3 victory in just 1 hour and 19 minutes. While the result itself was notable, it was what unfolded after match point that truly ignited debate across the tennis world. As both players approached the net, Svitolina shook hands with the chair umpire, but walked past Kalinskaya without acknowledgement. The moment was brief, but cameras captured it clearly. Within minutes, social media erupted with divided opinions, reigniting a discussion that has followed the Ukrainian star since the outbreak of war in her homeland. A match defined by control and composure on the court, Kalinskaya delivered one of her most disciplined performances of the season. The Russian played aggressive but measured tennis, absorbing Svitolina's pace and redirecting it with precision. She broke serve once in each set and saved multiple breakpoints with fearless shot-making. Svitolina, known for her counterpunching brilliance and mental resilience, struggled to find her rhythm. Her first serve percentage dipped at crucial moments, and unforced errors crept into her forehand wing. Despite flashes of her trademark defensive wizardry, she never fully seized control of the rallies. The victory marked Kalinskaya's first win over Svitolina in 4 career meetings, improving their head-to-head record to 1-3. For Kalinskaya, it was a statement win against a top competitor and a continuation of her steady climb up the rankings. But the match's competitive narrative was quickly overshadowed by the silent exchange, or lack thereof, at the net. A gesture that speaks volumes to some viewers, Svitolina's refusal to shake hands appeared unsportsmanlike. Critics questioned whether personal beliefs should override long-standing tennis traditions. Others, however, viewed her action as consistent with a deeply personal and political stance she has maintained for years. This is not new territory for Svitolina. Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, the Ukrainian has consistently declined to shake hands with Russian and Belarusian players. Her position has remained firm regardless of victory or defeat. For Svitolina, the gesture is not about individual rivalries. It is about representing her country during an ongoing conflict. Back in May 2024, after facing Kalinskaya at the Italian Open, Svitolina addressed the issue directly. Following her victory in Rome, she thanked the Italian crowd for their support and used her press conference to clarify her stance. "It's very sad and frustrating to me that people don't understand this. It's an obvious thing not to shake hands when I have so many friends on the front lines fighting for Ukraine. Can you imagine them watching me compete and seeing me shake hands as if nothing had happened?" she said. Her words then echo even louder now. A continuing pattern on the WTA Tour. Svitolina is not alone in this position. Several Ukrainian players, including Marta Kostyuk and Lesia Tsurenko, have similarly declined handshakes against Russian and Belarusian opponents. Instead, matches often conclude with a neutral racket tap or no acknowledgement at all. Tournament organizers and the WTA have largely respected players' personal choices in this regard, understanding the emotional weight behind such decisions. Still, each instance reignites public debate. In Doha, the context added another layer. Unlike some past encounters where Ukrainian players emerged victorious, this time Svitolina was walking off after a defeat. For critics, that fueled speculation. Was it frustration or principle? Those familiar with her history argue the answer is clear. Kalinskaya's professional response for her part, Anna Kalinskaya did not react publicly to the moment. The Russian maintained her composure, offering a brief nod at the net before turning to celebrate with her team. Throughout her career, Kalinskaya has avoided political commentary, focusing instead on her tennis. Her performance in Doha demonstrated maturity and growth, particularly under the bright lights of a WTA 1000 event. The 6-4, 6-3 win over a recent Grand Slam semifinalist adds a significant scalp to her 2026 campaign and signals that she is becoming increasingly dangerous on hard courts. Sport and politics. An unavoidable intersection. Tennis has long prided itself on traditions of respect, the handshake at the net being one of its most iconic symbols. Yet the sport does not exist in isolation from global realities. For Svitolina, every match carries emotional weight. She has repeatedly spoken about playing with Ukraine on her mind, raising funds for humanitarian efforts, and dedicating wins to those defending her country. In that context, her refusal to shake hands is not a spontaneous act of frustration, but a continuation of a moral stance she believes honors those affected by war, whether fans agree or disagree. Her consistency underscores that the decision is intentional. What this means moving forward as the WTA Tour continues its Middle East swing. The spotlight will remain not just on results, but on moments that transcend the scoreboard. For Kalinskaya, the focus shifts to her quarterfinal opportunity, a chance to build on a breakthrough win and push deeper into a prestigious event. For Svitolina, the defeat serves as a reminder of the fine margins at the top of women's tennis. Despite a strong start to the season in Melbourne, consistency remains key as she targets another deep Grand Slam run later this year. But beyond rankings and titles, the Doha incident highlights how athletes today often stand at the crossroads of sport and personal conviction. In the end, the handshake, or absence of one, became the defining image of the day. Not because it changed the match result, but because it reignited an ongoing conversation about identity, loyalty, and the role of athletes in times of conflict. And in modern tennis, those conversations are far from over.